Are you facing your A-levels this year? Or do you constantly have comments like, A-levels not next year, being thrown at you at like every single party? Or have you like just finished your O-levels and have already been roped into A-level classes? It doesn't matter, this video is for you! Hey all beautiful people, if you clicked this video because you nearly had a panic attack just looking at the bio notes onto your side, and then decided to salvage whatever hope of passing the exam that you have by watching YouTube videos on like A-level tips and tricks, then it's okay. I get you. I get that position. Like, whatever you're going through, I get it. Because let me be honest, A-levels is like low-key traumatic. No cap. So I have so much of respect for anybody who has like gone through this system and has like made it outside, like come onto the other side with their sanity intact. So honestly, genuinely, y'all beat the system and it deserves a big round of applause, y'all. The last few years, that is my A-level years, have been like the most stressful, the most challenging, but also the most beautiful and like exciting years of my life. The end result of all of that being a 3 A's and a 2.4 Z score. But yeah, so I'm not saying it to brag or anything, but because it adds credibility to what I'm trying to say later on in the video. So a couple of you have called me and asked, or like texted me and asked, for like tips, motivation, advice. And I was thinking, well, there has to be something that I did right, but also there's tons of things that I did wrong, made mistakes, and I wish like I had known earlier. So if by sharing all of these, like I make some person's A-level journey a little bit less miserable, a little bit less stressful, and a little bit more enjoyable, I think that's so worth it, and I would gladly do it, and hence this video. So yeah. So like I tried to condense all of what I had to say into like one video, but I ended up like phasing it over like a couple of videos because I just realized that if I wanted to provide anything of value, A-levels is just like too big to put into like one video. So this video is going to be about stuff that you need to know in general about A-levels, like things that will help you get through it, like mindset. I will also make a couple of videos on like few solid tips that really help me to get through A-levels, and how to properly study bio, and how to balance like extracurriculars with school activities, how to manage the stress, oh my god, study techniques, and how to write exams like more effectively. So I thought I would do all of that, and if you think that's useful and if you like the idea, do drop a like and let me know. Yeah. So here's a disclaimer, like right off the bat, because I love disclaimers. I'm just like a walking, talking disclaimer. Anyway, the point being, all of like this advice and like etc are like stuff that I picked up from my teachers, my seniors, my classmates, friends, family, and like every other nook and cranny. I am by no means an expert in all of this, neither do I have it all figured out. No. But these are stuff that I found really helpful and I would like to share in hopes that it'll make your life also better. So these are not like one size fits all sort of advices or like a guaranteed way to success. This is just based on my personal experiences as a bio student with a bit too many things on my head, yeah? So yeah, with that said, let's get down to the first point that I want to make in terms of things that you have to know about A-levels, right? One, it is not a smooth sailing journey. So especially with results out, it's very easy to just, look at people who have done well and see their effort, their hard work, their successes, and not be able to see, the times they've tried and failed, and hence think, oh my lord, I'm in such a rut, I will never be able to get there, when you're like comparing yourselves to like other people's achievements and such, yeah? But I can guarantee and tell you, and I think I speak on behalf of like so many people when I say that it is not a smooth journey, right? I think it looks like this, most probably it isn't. It's probably like this. like lots of ups and downs in like your entire journey, right? So there are days when you just don't study at all for a stretch, like days on the end. There are days when you're just stressy. There are days when you just, don't concentrate at class at all and you like miss a bunch of notes. Like days right before the exam and you're just like, oh my gosh, I have like covered 1/8 of the syllabus and like, what am I going to do tomorrow, right? All of this happens. If you're stuck in a rut right now, if you're just like at a low right now, just know that you can make it through, right? This is not how things have to be till the end of time or whatever. I'm not wearing my glasses, so like I gotta be like every time. Anyway, yeah, I got a new ring light. See the ring in my eye. Okay, anyway, the second point that I wanted to make is it is not the end of the world, right? I can't say this enough, because when you're doing A-levels, it seems like the entire world is revolving around you doing your A-levels. Like everybody's like, A-levels, 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 yeah? It feels super overwhelming, I know, but please remember that there is a life outside A-levels, right? It is not the end of the world. Don't let your results define you at any cost. And the reason I'm saying this is because succeeding at A-levels is by no means a guarantee that you will succeed in life, right? Nah. And also, like, it definitely depends on the way you define success, but it's not something that is a guarantee of happiness and, wholesomeness in life as a whole. There are like plenty of people who have done extremely well in their O-levels and A-levels and then did, like really badly in the rest of their life, and like, didn't find like a really good career, or like etc, right? I could be an example in the future, just saying. But again, there are people who have not done amazingly in their O-levels, A-levels, etc, but hit that, exponential growth spurt phase when they're starting the uni. They're extremely amazing at uni and they're extremely amazing at like their career, etc, right? Then again, there are people who have done really badly in O-levels, but A-levels, they give it their best and they're amazing at it, right? Then there are people who have done brilliantly well from their childhood, etc, come up to A-levels and then, just lost it there. So all of it happens, right? So the best we can do is to just, make sure that we give our best and live with no regrets. So that's a deal. You give your best shot at it, and then you don't have any regrets. Yeah, also there's this other idea, especially like I think in the bio stream, that literally the end goal is to be a doctor, right? You do bio equals you have to become a doctor. Anything other than that is like equal to failure. A teacher pointed out to me, and I'm really thankful she did, that there's so many like niche jobs that you can go into. And like the example she gave was a person who illustrates biology books, right? It's a very specific, nuanced job that requires a certain skill set, right? You have to be good at drawing, but you also have to know biology. It's not like anybody and everybody can do it. Like a doctor can't really do that, right? So it's something that is special, essentially. So just like diversify. I think in Sri Lanka especially, we just need to like give a lot more, like hold a lot of jobs like equal-ish. Anyway, welcome to my TED Talk. Just know that there's so many options available. I need to pause because this light is freaking warm. So my third point being, the harder I work, the luckier I seem to get. I forgot who really said it, so just but the thing is, I just want to like put it out there is no substitute for hard work, right? Every day you stay up and you study, every choice you make, every note that you take translates into a point somewhere there, like translates into a mark, translates into something that really takes you towards your goal, right? So there's no substitute for hard work. You have to put in the effort, you have to put in the hours to like get it. But the other point that I want to make is that you writing your A levels depends on so many factors, right? Like being able to do a good job on your paper depends on, yes, hard work, the amount of effort that you put into studies, etc. But also it depends on your mindset when you write the paper, like the environment when you write the paper. Are you like sick when you're writing the paper? Are you feeling okay? And it also depends on, who the paper gets to like be corrected by, because it also depends on that. So there's a lot of factors that really affect your like entire A-level result, and to have all of that fall into place for you, it really requires some sense of, luck or God's grace or universe's help or whatever you want to call it, right? So my point being, there are only certain things that we can control, like the amount of effort you put, and so you go ahead and control it. But there are also things that you can't control, so there's no point like worrying over it and dying over it. You give your best and then you let whatever happen, right? And that's why I say, like, the harder I work, the luckier I seem to get. It is actually true, because like, the little things sort of add up in the end to give you that overall effect of luck. So this is something that I learned from like a senior. But like I said, certain things are out of control. Unfair things happen, things that shouldn't happen, but you have to rise above it all, and you have the strength, period. And point 4 is to enjoy the journey, because so often we're just like, oh, the entire point is to get like an A or whatever result that you want, that we forget to enjoy the journey, right? Like, if you're doing your A levels, it's probably also the last few years at your school, right? And trust me when you say, when you come out of it, you're going to miss that entire atmosphere, that entire lifestyle, the people, honestly, and the vibes you have at classes, right? Like the entire like going to class, school atmosphere, vibes, like, complaining. And genuinely what made it the best few years of my life, I would say, are the people. Like, so many amazing people. I couldn't have made it without them. So also this idea that you are not competing with the people in your class, right? You're probably competing with like random people from like random other places. That, and I know A levels is competitive, etc., but don't let that like competitive mindset that people force onto you sort of affect the way you treat others. Like, don't like not share notes or whatever, right? Like, make sure you give your best towards people and like build and grow together. A levels is not a journey that you make on your own. There's so many people behind you. There's teachers, there's family, there's like classmates, there's so many people who are walking behind you and with you in this journey. And the way you can honor them all is to, spread the good vibes. The 5th point that I wanted to make is to have internal motivation. The reason I say this is because if you're in class and you're like, I have no idea why I'm here, or if you feel like you don't have a clear career goal to work towards, you have no idea what you want to be in the future, what will happen in the future, and you're like feeling as lost as ever. So if you actually really do want to succeed in this stream, whatever you have chosen, but are finding it hard to, just stop and think if your motivation is external or internal, right? If you're doing it for other people or like other factors, it's going to be really hard to keep up that consistent motivation throughout like entire 3 years, right? So you can turn around and make it internal motivation. I will talk about this in my next video, because I think it was like a legit, genuinely amazing point that helped me do better. Do it for you. It's okay to have like, external motivation. It's great, it's amazing, but also make sure there is a factor of internal motivation inside there, pushing you always. The 6th point that I want to make is to, tell you that everybody is running a different race. I can't like reiterate this fact enough times, because often it's just easy to compare yourself with like your classmates who are just like going like that, and you're just like, oh, what am I doing here? I feel so stagnant. Yeah, because growth happens at different points, right? Some people are consistently good throughout their A-level years, and that's amazing. But then again, there are also people who are just like, but they hit their like exponential growth phase in like 6 months before the exam. And what matters is the consistent effort that you put, right? So don't compare yourself with others, because it really doesn't do you any good. It's hard to, sort of feel like you're going anywhere, right? So compare yourself with yourself, right? Consistently try to outdo yourself. If you feel like you've made progress, that's amazing. Like, that's genuinely really amazing. Because if you just try to work towards goals that your class teacher set or like your tuition teacher set, it's like really hard to keep yourself going throughout the entire time. So just make sure you set your own goals and work towards it and achieve it. Also, again, it's a matter of perspective, right? So for person one, they might really just want to pass, and when they do, that's definitely something worth celebrating about, right? And for person two who studied and worked for an A, if they got a B, they can still be disappointed, right? It's just the different races that you are running. So don't really compare yourself with other people. Think of your own goals, set your own goals, work towards them, and hopefully you will get there. And the seventh point is, listen, it is not too late. If you're sitting here thinking, what's the point of even trying right now, because I have lost like so and so many months, everybody else must have like studied so much, what's the point of even trying, do I even have to do this, like I'll just stop. Just go ahead and start studying now, because when you're writing the exam, you'll be thankful that you started studying now, right? Because unless you have like the option of like getting away from like the exam, which I would not recommend, I feel like whatever it is, just face it head on. You've made a couple of bad decisions in life, it's okay, face the consequences and it's going to get better, right? So anyway, the idea being, if you're currently at an S level, right, even the few weeks or like months or days or whatever time you have of like, to study, can like help you get that 1 or 2 mark increase that might just push you into a C, right? So it probably won't be like, oh, so great, amazing, like huge changes if you have like such a little time before the exam, but it will make a difference, right? And the difference is going to be worth it. So I'm telling you this through like, having gone through it myself, and that is, it is not too late. Whatever time you have, just give it your best shot now, and using whatever you learned in this time period, make sure you don't make the mistake for the next time. And I do understand that all of this, like, my 7 points of advice is like, easy to say, but also like hard to put into practice. And the idea is to consistently repeat it again and again in your head, so that it sort of becomes a way of living and thinking that ultimately makes a positive impact in your life. So just keep these things in mind, and I really, really hope that it helped you, or like, just added some bit of like positiveness in your life. And just a small reminder, it's the small steps that really matter. So value consistency and like keep going, keep pushing yourself. You can do this. This is me sending you a lot of love and a lot of support and appreciation. If you did find this useful, do give it a thumbs up and let me know down in the comment below, because I don't know like how long I'm gonna keep up my YouTuber gig, but so I really wanted to give something of value to people out there, and hence this video. So do let me know, and if you think your friends might benefit from it, do share, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, anyway, I'm going off now. Bye. Did I just spray? But that's okay. Like, oh lord, I can't believe I went through all of that. I don't even know why people do that. I know why people do that. Because I was like really, really conflicted half the time, and I like wanted to switch streams half the time. Anyway, Dr.